You know what I mean? So I'm glad they added that. And so I was talking about this a little earlier. Is remember that we were saying maybe they know something about Mayer. Maybe that foot is kind of still lingering. But I see the boy going hard in practice. So I see him running. So I mean, I
Right.
think we just got a dope ass tight end room right now.
Well, upon further research and educating myself on Bowers after we selected him, look, I'm all aboard this guy. Seems to be a stud, and quite possibly the best tight end prospect in years. So to get a guy like that, I'm all for now. Like I was a little unsure at the time of the pick, but upon educating myself and being more aware of the player that he is, I definitely am more happy with it. And maybe that's not so much a shade on Mayer. Maybe we might, run these dual tight end sets that we spoke of in yesteryears that on paper we were supposed to run, but we never did. But maybe with this new scheme with what's our offensive coordinator? Yeah, Getzey,
Oh,
Luke
guess
Getzey.
yeah.
Maybe with his scheme, we might see more of it now that we've got the two very young, very talented uh, tight ends in the rooms. So, I mean, Mayer's still got time to, uh, still needs to grow. I mean, he's got time. I mean, hopefully he takes a second year jump. But Bowers is a guy who, on paper, there's no reason why it shouldn't work out. Like this guy apparently has a ceiling that is of epic proportions at the tight end position, and that would be really nice to see us carry on the legacy of good tight ends in the room. I mean, in the last decade and a bit since I've been a fan, that's always been a luxury that we've had. Despite other roster deficiencies, we've always had a pretty good tight end room. Last year was quite disappointing, probably the least productive from a reception standpoint that we've had at the tight end spot for the last 12 years now. So I'd like it to be better, and the drafting of Bowers might be the start. So, yeah, shout out to you, Jason. You got it right.
No, it's all good. It happens. It happens very rarely, but hey, it happened. No, no, but no, but just definitely, I was excited with that pick because it was kind of like one of those. So it was similar to the Tyree Wilson pick last year, but it was kind of I was more on board with this than the Tyler because it was kind of the similar situation too because Tyler Wilson fell last year too because he kind of slipped a little bit down because I know he was like in the top. I want to say 7 or 8, something like that last year, and then somehow, some way, he made
Sorry,
it.
who slid down? Tyler
Oh,
Wilson?
yeah, or sorry, Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson.
Tyler Wilson.
I
Well, you
said
mean the
Tyler Wilson.
quarterback we drafted
Yeah,
back in 2013?
man, hey, yeah, Tyree Wilson. Yeah, when he slid, like it was kind of when because Jalen Carter was on the board, Anthony Gonzalez was on the board, so I thought it was either one of those, and I was like, either way, And then we make the Tyree Wilson. It was just like, huh, okay, well, I guess like, hey, I guess that's what we're doing. But this one, I was more like, okay, I could see I could see it doing more good than bad.
Right. And how many times have we talked about, like, why can't we just go for best player available when we've taken on paper guys who fill a need in most of our round one, specifically draft picks for the last, God, since I've been a fan since 2009. You know what I'm saying? Like the only real exceptions to it was, for me, maybe Khalil Mack. You know what I mean? Best player available. We took him, and sure enough, look how that turned out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And hopefully a similar scenario, right?
Yeah, I hope so. The Jackson Powers pick was one of my favorites. That was definitely a 1-2 because I felt like the first two picks were fire. You know what I mean with the Bowers pick. Even though questionable, you could see once you kind of see what they're seeing, it's like, okay, I could see that. And then with that pick, I was like, okay, with Powers, yes, because he was definitely on the wish list, something that we definitely needed, and we needed to get early. And we were able to secure both of those early. So, and then when we got to Delmar Glaze, that was kind of like, okay, we kind of lost our steam a little bit. But I kind of see what they were seeing, that basically it was kind of everyone was going to start grabbing these guys. So they were like, well, before we lose out, we might as well grab them. And the length on the guys' arms and stuff like that, I guess, was really kind of one of the major things, because you do need long arms to be a tackle. That's why a lot of these tackles kind of get shifted to guard, because it's, more kind of a little bit more suitable. But I don't know. It's he was kind of off my radar. I admit, like I had him on a couple mocks just to get a tackle in the room, but yeah, that was a little bit of a shocker for me, but I see why they did it though.
Well, with the Powers pick, that worked out brilliant for us because apparently he was the best player on the board, as well as he fills a need in interior, whether it be at center or whether it be at guard. They say that it's RNJ James's job. They called him apparently during the draft process and said, look, the job's still yours. On paper, we should be slotting Jackson Powers Johnson on one of the guard spots, whether it's left or right, and Dylan Parham being the other guy. So yeah, like another pick on paper that should pan out. I mean, having the highest graded pass protection in the draft, fantastic. I think they hit it out of the ballpark. He gives me shades of like Stefan Wisniewski. And on paper, like, at the very least, he should be a decent enough guy. Ceiling, he could be great. He could be the next good/great interior guy that we have, like, because we've had good success with drafting, having interior guys in the door. You know what I mean? That right tackle's been a position that's always been kind of in flux, to your point with Delmar Glaze, but I think with Delmar Glaze, like, maybe that's a sign of their approval of Mumford being a guy I've been giving high praise to, and I think should hopefully take that third-year leap and make that right tackle his own. And just when you think about it, what I really like about this offensive line is that for the most part, it's very young. You know what I mean? Like, most of these guys, the guys taking their third-year leaps, they're like 25. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at Parham, Mumford. Andre James is still pretty young. I believe he's in his 27, 28, whatever he is. Colton Miller is 28, 29. So to have like a good mix of like experience and some fresh guys in Jackson Powers Johnson, but they're all still young. We don't have any cats who should be starting that are over the age of 30 plus. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that old. I mean, I'm in my 30s myself, but like, when it comes to American football, the NFL level, like that kind of gets a little bit older, on the older side of things. Not to say that they can't play, but it's nice to see that we've got a young line. My only minute gripe, and maybe this is something Jackson Powers Johnson can fill, I don't know, but I would like us to have like an enforcer type guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that with Parham, Miller, Mumford, or James. Like, they're all decent enough or / good in their own right, but you know what I'm saying? Like an enforcer, like Pan, like a Semele, like Hudson. You know what I mean? Like someone like, if another team Incognito, the perfect example. The guy is going to be the first one to step up to the plate and be the one to lay down the law, so to say, if a defensive player gets out of line. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's a something that Jackson Powers can bring to the table. I'm not sure about that side of his game, but maybe, possibly, hopefully.
Yeah, we do. You do have a good point about that too. We don't have any. We have a bunch of nice guys on our.
Yeah, nice guys. As long as they play well, that's fine. That's the main thing. But like, it's a little bit of a luxury. But like, it'd be nice to have that guy that you it's going to lay down the law when it needs to happen. You know what I mean?
That nasty. Yeah, definitely. Man, we got our boy Leo in the building too, man. I was gonna say,
yo,
what's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
How you doing? What's up, AR?
Man,
Hair
good to
looking slick, my friend. Hair looking
Oh,
slick. What's going on?
oh, thank you.
Okay, my boy showing off the curls. I see you.
I know. I just got my hat. Hold up.
Okay.
What's going on, man? You going on date night or something tonight?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a family birthday today, but yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
eat some good food for me. You know, tap something for me, you know what I'm saying? And man, enjoy.
Is it for the wrestling?
No. It's my niece's birthday party. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Backlash is on, I think, right about now. So I was gonna
Yeah, like 20
watch
minutes.
that
That's
when
why I got
we
that.
finished up here.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, hella early. Damn.
It's in France.
Oh, that's why I was like, damn, I've never seen
Yeah.
but damn, that early. For
Yeah, they
sure.
flip the timetables when it's like international. So because it's in France,
Yeah.
it's on early for you guys.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So man, Leo, what's up, man? We were just talking about really we were getting into the first 2 to 3 selections that we made with Bowers, Powers, and Glaze. That sounds like a law firm for real.
When you
It
say it like
does.
that, it does.
It
I was like,
does.
that's hella crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 through
Powers,
3.
power, and glaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, Powers, and Glaze.
Lawyers and associates.
Yeah. Hey, we gonna get some shirts made, Leo. Get some shirts made. Maybe we can make that happen.
Hey, for real, huh? Hey, that's a good idea.
You know what
I'll
I'm
get that with
saying?
Law
the
firm.
theater.
How
Hey,
about
the
that?
firm.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So what'd you think of Bowers? What'd you think of the first pick?
Man, I was shocked because I didn't see that happening. Like we were there, and then we saw what happened with Penix. I'm like, fuck, there goes the quarterback, whatever. So my mind went straight to Fuaga. Like we're getting Fuaga. Not even paying no mind that Bowers was still up there. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, it was just Fuaga. And then when they said the tight end, I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, I was shocked. I really was. Me and Chris were shocked. Turf was pissed. He was pissed, bro. He wanted to leave Detroit that day.
Oh
But
my goodness.
I mean, once I settled down and thought about it, like I've watched Bowers play a lot in college football.
Yeah.
Like Georgia's one of the SEC teams that I like because they're like my Alabama killer.
Yeah.
So I like Bowers a lot. I know what he can do as a weapon. He's not just a tight end. He's a freely like a weapon X, like a Swiss Army knife. You can line him up as running back. You can line him up in the slot. You can put him up on the outside. And the kid can ball. So I mean, once I calmed down and settled down and was like, all right, we didn't get, I guess, the guy I wanted. So then I was like, cool, you know, he's a weapon that we have and a great value for where we got him at. I honestly thought he was going to go to the Chargers or the Jets earlier, but they didn't. They decided to go O-line as well. So I was just like, all right, fuck it. So it was cool. It was cool to see that.
Oh damn. Yeah, it was so I was kind of just, you know, even though I had said it, it was like a week before, you know what I mean? And I was thinking that would be nice. It was one of those, man, that would be nice though if we had, you know, something.
Oh, so you had
like
said it. I was watching you guys right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was so, and it was so crazy because when they called the pick, I was like, I called it. That's crazy, like, because I know we always do crazy stuff with our first round. You know what I mean? So
we do.
it was kind of like, damn, I could see them kind of going, you know, like off the wall and getting, and then I think Atlanta messed the whole draft up, man. Like that
threw it off.
That threw everything. People were like, "Wait, what?" So you picked an injury-prone quarterback to take over for a quarterback that's getting off Achilles injury. I was just like that. It didn't even begin to make sense. Like,
yeah, it still don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I hear people try to justify it, and I'm like, that don't make no sense to me.
yeah,
still.
yeah. And it's like, it was like, what? Like, why? It was like they just felt like they wanted to do something. And then last year, I think, what did they do? The running back, was that what they did with their first pick? Was it the what was the guy?
Who?
Not Gibbs, but it was the guy that Atlanta.
Oh, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, Bijan. Yeah, so it was like, I don't know, that was crazy because that was a crazy pick last year for them. I felt like they had so many needs, and then they picked a running back. Which,
especially now, the way they don't really value running back. Because look at after the first running back was taken like what, way in the later on. It wasn't even in the first round.
Yeah,
it was that dude from Texas. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that Bijan? Was
The
that
last year it was John Robinson. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like what was your favorite pick?
My favorite pick was JPJ.
Yeah, definitely so.
It was JPJ because especially after we got Bowers,
Yeah.
I was like, watch us fuck around in because I was with MC Raider and he's like,
Yeah.
I want a running back. I'm like, bro, how are we gonna get it tight end and then a running back?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna block for these dudes? Right. So my thing was always being offensive line, and then we had realized JPJ was still up there. So Chris was like, I want JPJ. I wanted a dude from Notre Dame, Fisher, I think was his name, one of the guards.
Blake.
And then,
is it Blake Fisher or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when once we saw JPJ, bro, I was like, that was it. That was perfect.
I was like, we're 2 for 2. I was like, hey, 2 for 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was we were starting to kind of build, and I'm like, okay, this is going, because it was hitting spots that we could definitely need. Even though, like I said, the tight end one was kind of crazy because we're like, okay, we just got Mayer, unless we were thinking unless they know there's an injury that's kind of still lingering. But I've seen them in all those, where they're playing and throwing to each other.
Yeah,
I see him running, going hard. So like,
yeah.
and we just got some icing on the cake.
I was telling people, like, I don't know if you remember the New England days when they had Gronk and Hernandez.
Oh, do I?
I mean, Gronk was like the big body, fucking yeah, and then Hernandez was like the multiple weapon one. That's what Bowers reminds me of. There you go.
They were cold, bro.
They were cold, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of like what taking Brock reminds me of.
And then remember we said that last year with we were saying, that they were gonna add when we had Waller, and then I forgot who the other was it? It wasn't Moreau, but it was, so we had added somebody and they were like, oh, this is gonna be just like, but I think this is gonna be like
this is gonna be like it.
Yeah, this is gonna be it. And then so were you one of those people like myself that every round, I think after the third, it could have been after the third, was like, okay, let's get Rattler. Let's get Rattler still up. Rattler still on the board.
You know what? I was more on the Jordan Travis train.
Yeah.
But when I saw we didn't take Rattler, I was like, damn. Yeah. Maybe they're I don't know what they're waiting for, but I saw some other quarterbacks were still up there, like Pratt, Jordan, and Milton and all that shit. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw the Saints took Rattler. I'm like, damn, they took our tackle and our quarterback.
They like all our leftovers.
Right?
They like to get all our leftovers.
Because the Glazed one shocked me. It really did. That one I was like,
what? Because I think everybody was there too, and I was just like, okay. I mean, but damn, because I was the one saying, I think I said Brendan Rice's damn name every round, like after, because I was like, okay, we gotta get him now, like he's there, because I don't know, maybe they know something that we don't know, but I thought he was good. He was a good wide receiver.
I think maybe they were. Was it the speed that was the thing? He's not that fast, right?
Yeah, he's like a
4.5, which is crazy to me. If I could run 4.5, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, man. Oh hell yeah! I know. Isn't that crazy? What they consider slow? It's like it's just regular.
4.3, 4.5, like that's still fast.
Yeah, I know. Really though, like that's still fast. You can still get to the end zone like that. Because remember we talked about JJ not being able to get break, but he got there a few times.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Brendan Rice would have been cool. He was one of them. I know I wanted Cam Hart, the corner out of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, he's on the slower end. He wasn't a 4.3, 4.4 guy. Yeah.
Yeah, this draft was crazy. It kind of went. It was kind of odd. Like it pushed everybody around at least off.
Mm-hmm.
Like who we thought was gonna be a second round ended up like thirds and fourth rounds.
Yeah. Yeah,
like Brendan Rice was one that I just wanted to add just for a third wide receiver, because that's something we didn't target at all in the draft. We did get some UDFAs.
You know what? They didn't, but if you look at that kid, the running back, Labe.
Yeah, Labe.
Labe? Yeah. He is kind of like in that where he can line up like an outside receiver as well in the inside. But I get what you're saying. We didn't get like a true, I guess, number 2 or number 3 future wide
Yeah.
receiver to develop. But
Yeah, because we do have the number 1 already. We got a solid 2. But
Mhm.
if we could get him and turn him to a star at that third wide receiver position,
Yeah.
we're golden. But getting Bowers kind of took the pressure off that a little bit
Yeah,
because
because
now
they kind of can use him for that. Yeah,
you know what I'm
that third
saying.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's forgetting about Gallup. I mean, I know not the greatest signing or whatever, but a decent signing for a third option. Yeah,
And
definitely
Trey
good.
Tucker,
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
he worked on his hands and being able
yes,
to catch the ball with his hands, not his body.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
He's got to start getting to the ball, like
he's
start
got to start getting.
coming, helping his quarterback out, get to
Yeah,
that ball.
if he could do that, then because he made some good catches. Like I was rewatching last year stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like Trey Tucker made some good catches. He had some big drops, key drops also.
yeah,
So if he can clean those up, but yeah, I'm think they're more confident in that than like say we wanted that weapon, but with Bowers being added on, it kind of like okay, we're cool on that third wide receiver type. That's why I was like with Michael Gallup. I was like, if he can even play a little bit like he did in Dallas that year before he got injured, like I'd be cool with that. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, see, that's what I'm kind of looking at. All I can do is look at your last, the best of your last plays.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think that gives whoever's quarterback, if it's AOC, Minshew, whoever, a solid room around them. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
mean, so basically, if you don't succeed this year, AOC, it's because you suck. Now I'm not saying you suck, but I'm saying if you
Right.
don't succeed with the team that's around you, then that means that you really suck. And everything that I've been trying to, show people that you are, a decent quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best, but I feel like for what he did last year, I'm impressed with that. He didn't have to get pulled. You know what I mean? Because we could have went back to Jimmy G. We could have went back to Hoyer. Well, we probably wouldn't have went back to Jimmy G, but we could have went to Hoyer for the rest of the season or somebody, and they stuck with him. They let him get it out. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't like a bum. And he didn't cause us just like, he played. I know he had his little rough spots and stuff like that, but it's his first year. And he wasn't even supposed to be in there anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I've been a huge critic of O'Connell because I was
Yeah.
one of the guys who wanted a quarterback.
Yeah.
Trevor always be yelling at me, go watch the film, go watch the film, go watch the film. So then I was making this little video of like a recap of our first game against the Chargers.
Yeah.
And I was watching that game and I was like, you know what? For having messed up as much as he did, he still had us in that damn game.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that last interception he threw, misread on him, or I heard you earlier say, bad play call, they could have ran it because JJ was killing him that game. Or even the Minnesota one. I was there and we didn't move much, but when we finally got to the red zone, it was Renfro who fumbled.
Damn.
And that would have been the scoring opportunity. Yeah. So
Damn.
I mean, I could see the development. My biggest thing right now is now that he's back in a West Coast type offense with Getsy and get some more experienced coordinator. Maybe not on play calling, but as far as having been around more in the NFL, is hopefully he will continue to develop that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the offense now. Like running back.
See, that's still my biggest question mark is running.
Yeah, like I would say, I would agree. I would definitely say that like if we look at our offense, we could add some, but there's no I think the free agents that are available or anything
point,
like it's
you have what we have with our stable, and we decided to go by committee, so now we just got to see how that's going to look like. Yeah.
And the way we're geared up, I don't feel like we even need to, we run the ball just to make them respect it. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like our shit is gonna be throwing that ball. You know what I mean? I think that's
what it looks like, right? It's gonna be like we're gonna be more pass oriented, which is gonna be a little weird for a Luke Getsy type offense because they do run the ball. Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Zeus does break out. I mean, I met him here in LA. Dude's big. He's big. Bro. Huge. I'm like, that's why they call him Zeus.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, if
So
he
it's
can
kind
just
of cool.
add a little bit more wiggle to his game, like we'll be. I think we'll be all right. I
Or,
really feel like we're gonna be all right.
or even with the 1-2 punch too, with Abdullah and now with the rookie too,
Yeah,
being able to
yeah,
mix them in there for that 1-2 punch, kind of like Detroit does, with
yeah.
Montgomery and Gibbs, they have that 1-2 punch with the difference in the running backs.
And we've
Like
been
I could
need.
see us doing something like that, especially with the inside of our O line being so much stronger now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That dude Powers too. He's gonna be nasty too.
Oh, he's a
Like
nasty boy.
I forgot. When they were doing the call, because I don't know whatever Antonio said to him. He said, I'm a keys. I'll whoop anybody's ass for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like
like that.
he's like, it's like we gonna have some dogs, man. Like, because
Yeah, we gotta have some dog.
I'm so because I know you said you wanted to go the quarterback route, but aren't you glad? Like looking at it now, do you regret the draft, like taking just all the picks all together versus us trading the picks? Would you, if you could do it again, would you rather us have this draft that we just had, or would you rather us have traded up for a quarterback?
You know what? When it comes to that, I'm glad Telesco was there because he didn't crumble to the pressure. You have to trade up to go get Jaden. I wanted Jaden,
Yeah,
but I also didn't want to give up too much. Like I had a limit of how much you should give up. And I know reports came out that offers were given, but they thought it wasn't enough. Well, then fuck it, that wasn't it. It was not gonna happen. So I would have been cool with one in the later rounds, but like I guess after the draft, in my mind, they believe more in these quarterbacks than I do as a fan, and that's cool because they're the ones who were there. It's Coach AP, Tom, the whole coaching staff. If they believe that much in these dudes that they felt they didn't have to draft one, so then cool. I'm cool with it. That's who we rocking with, and that's what I'm gonna be at too. Yeah.
It's a tricky one too, because like with AOC, it's kind of like he did just enough to deserve a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I can't give up on him yet, man. Like,
Right.
because even like I say, even if it's Minshew, like I just feel like they would probably prefer to start with AOC, hope he's developed. But if he doesn't, Minshew, and Minshew we trust for the rest of the way.
And
But
I
I
think
feel,
that's where Tom is
yeah,
smarter than I thought,
Mhm.
because if you look back at it, Minshew was one of the first free agent signings for us. Like we were like, what
yes,
the hell? And back then we were like, oh, why are you gonna pay so much?
yeah,
But when you look at it, having Minshew kind of like didn't force you to move up and go get a guy or be stuck with like the leftovers. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with Minshew. And then after watching him on the rush, that dude just grew on me more and more and more. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's AR. I don't know if you agree. Like, it's a tricky QB room. Like, it's I could see either one. Kind of AOC, either we could rock with Minshew, and if that doesn't work, we could kind of go back to AOC, or vice versa. We could start with AOC. If it doesn't, say like out of 4 games he only wins one, then we got to make like just to see if he's gotten better. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Who do you feel more confident with AOC and Minshew?
Sorry,
Or
my internet service just did a Brian Hoyer and screwed the friggin' pooch. All right. As for
Gerbils.
the
damn,
two QBs we have in the room now, look, Minshew has had some success starting at other places before he came over to us. I believe he made a Pro Bowl last year, so that is something. AOC, through circumstance, had his start with us last year, and for the most part, due to circumstances, he did okay. He did well enough. My thing is that like I just want one of these guys to prove to be not just the starter, but a good starter, and it's going to be a battle between those two. There's nothing's for certain as it stands. Like who's our bona fide starter? They're going to be competing in preseason, which is going to be very interesting to see. That's the first step. The next step is I want a guy who's not just good for a minute. I want a guy who's going to be good for the long term, and
Right.
that's going to be the next step for these guys. You know what I mean? Because outside of Gannon and when Derek Carr was at his best, before and after them, it was a whole list of pretty terrible to average, mediocre, to guys who were good for a minute, like guys who were dear to my heart, like Bruce Gradkowski, Terrell Pryor, Jason Campbell. But that's all they were, was good for a minute. I don't want good for a minute kind of guys. I want ideally you want a guy who's going to take the franchise to the future. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure if it's either of these two guys, but you know what? If it is them, cool. Like I'll be rooting for them. They're my quarterback until they show otherwise.
Yeah.
And may the best quarterback win and do as I said. Hopefully, prove to be not just a good for a minute guy, good for the long term.
True.
Yeah, I definitely. I feel like it will be a battle too, because I'm not. I don't see Minshew just giving in and just giving up. You know what I'm saying? Like I see him.
Yeah.
I think he's a dog. He gonna fight for that spot. So like I said, I'm confident because whoever gets the spot is gonna earn it. You know what I mean? Regardless, because I feel like the worrying is over with us now. Because you know how we used to worry about everything, like the penalty. You remember we used to be the penalty squad, get all the penalties
by a landslide. Like, we were dead last year in, year out, not even close.
That was our award every year.
Every year, if we didn't do anything well, we led in penalties for sure. Like we led in that stock. And it's like now, it's like I feel I'm more confident in this franchise. You know what I mean? It's like I see the moves, I see the direction they're going in. And it's like finally, you know what I mean? Because it's just too many. It's been too many head scratchers, too many kind of questionable decisions.
Let me ask you this: what is it you think that's making you more hopeful, more settled? You know, have all this? Is it the fact that who our coach is now? And you have more faith in the direction they're going? Because if you look about it, like our roster, we're cool with it. But we know these guys are the dudes we like. You know, you could obviously have better players here, there, whatever. But I'm just like you. Like, I'm really confident in this team. And I'm trying to ask myself, why am I so confident? And I think it's the change that AP brought around to it, the culture. Right. And that's what has me, like, more positive about it than just hopeful, I guess. You know? Hoping that they'll get it right. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's go ahead, AR.
No, I agree. Just the change in vibe, the change in attitude, and the change of like the morale seems a lot higher already. You know what I mean? Like it started off with like say, a couple was it a week ago when they had the organized team activities?
Yeah,
and the turnout they had for that. You know what I mean? Like I believe like just about close to every player that every able body that could make it, made it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a far cry from, I believe, last year. I don't think that was the case. They just seem so eager and wanting to do well for this guy, for this coaching regime.